Welcome, reading one. I welcome you, your higher self, and all of your energies that are here to speak with you today. We also welcome with grace and gratitude the unicorns, the Pegasus, the unipegs, the goddess energy, the angels, all the energies and entities that are wrapped up in this Oracle of the Unicorns deck. We say thank you. You are welcome. Oh, I feel so warm and fuzzy. I couldn't wait. I felt like a little kid at Christmas. Like I was like, can I play? Can I hit play now? Also, I wanted to just bring this in. I've said this before, but I'll say it again if you're new. I do not plug doTERRA. I just use their products, okay? I work in trade as a medium, and I have a friend, Sister Witch, and we trade. So anyway, Wild Orange wanted to come in. I was actually really excited because we had oranges this week, and I was like, oh, I'm going to bring a real orange in. And then I was like, wah, wah. I go to the fridge, and I'm like, oh, my husband must have taken it today, for work. Anyway, so wild orange, if you can have a real orange, it's better. Any type of, the real thing is usually better in most cases, unless it's, maybe you just need the oil, or it's just about, the smell, the scent, the energy. But I'm just getting oranges. Even if you go and buy an orange, make sure that it's organic. I know, or at least the grower, it's heirloom, something like that, like local. If you get oranges local where you live, that's not many places, but you may. We have people from all over the world in this tribe. And so, yeah, I'm telling you, just cutting open an orange. Some people like to peel it. Me personally, I am not the best peeler. My husband is. He loves to peel oranges. Like, he can peel oranges all day. I actually like to cut an orange and kind of squeeze the juice. I like to drink the juice of the orange. I'm not a huge fan of the pulp and the whole thing, but I will eat one when it feels right. But there's just something about an orange and the color orange. So I'm getting for you guys in this moon cycle, because we are in the second phase of the dark moon in Aries, and while we are in this energy, we are now in the setting intention phase. We had the new moon, we came out of the first moon in Aries into the dark moon in Aries. We are now in eclipse season. We are in retrograde season, well, Mercury retrograde anyway, and it's pretty intense out there. In real time, you can hear the rain starting to come down. Interesting, it wasn't even supposed to rain today. I feel like this is especially for you, for real. Seriously, it wasn't even supposed to rain today. So I was like, that's really interesting. So I am getting this vibe from Spirit that you need some cheering up. So whether you're in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, wherever you live, it doesn't matter. I just get the vibe from Spirit that you need a little pick-me-up, and the color orange will do that by wearing it or having it around you, which is why they had me bring in, this is the closest to orange I can get. These are the yellows I have, and then I brought in the fairy ball, the scrying fairy ball. And also, you may be seeing things in here. Feel free to scry in here for our scryers. You're not crazy because you see shit and shit. I mean, especially like clouds and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, all the time. So you asked Spirit, am I on the right path? Oh, and I looked at it, was 333. So that's your angel number. So research that on your own. Anytime you hear me throw things out, it's for you to research on your own, unless they specifically ask me to put something in the comments or description box. Sometimes they do, like if it's a link for music or something like that. But most of the time, it's for you to do it yourself, because you're going to retain the information 100 times more. I'm telling you from personal experience. It's the absolute truth. You will retain it more if you are researching it and looking it up yourself, especially if you take notes and stuff. Look at that. You can see my reflection in there. Hi, guys. So, I don't know why they're stalling. I kind of feel like, when you watch, a movie or a game show or a reality show, and they're like, who's gonna get the rose? And it's like, they're like, oh, and they pan to faces, you know what I mean? They drag it on and drag it on and drag it on. They're saying that's why you feel that way, because you've been going and going and going and going and going and going and going, and you're like, am I on the right path? Should I keep doing this? Should I keep going? Should I give up? No, don't give up. Also, I'm going to take this out because I feel like it's distracting. So just work with oranges, or I'm going to go down a little dark right now. Or get them, to eat, work with orange essential oil. I'll tell you, if you
do have healthy oils or access to healthy oils, get the wild orange. It's one of my favorites. It's so nice. And that and lemon. The same thing with lemons. If you are having, that's my jewelry hitting up against things, sorry. If you are feeling low, if you are feeling depressed, the best thing you could do for yourself is go to the market. If you have the luxury to go to the market and have access to that, I highly suggest you go and get some lemons and oranges and try and get them as, nice and fresh as possible. And it's even okay if they're not fully ripe, because sometimes it's like maybe that's the level that you need. Because do you ever notice, like with lemons, the more they ripen, the sweeter they get, right? But if you get a lemon when it's like really tart, it's like, oh, it'll make your cheeks pucker, your whole face hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that shit's fucking, that's sharp. But maybe that's what you need. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the kind of pick me up you need. Maybe it's a, like wake you up kind of thing. Or it could be the sweet, where they're like, maybe they want you to squeeze some juice and some orange and lemon or something, or separately squeeze them into, a juice together, and drink it, because maybe you need those vitamins, maybe you need that energy. Okay. Also, if I remember, and if I'm pulled to, there, and whoever watches this reading, if you know what I'm talking about, there is a drink. I saw it again the other day in my notes, and I'm like, fuck, I need to put that out there. But it's like, I want to say it's like orange, lemon, and ginger or something. But it's like this drink that the Italians, a lot of Italian healing, old energies have been coming up lately, which is really cool. But it's just like, it's like a revitalizing drink. So you can even research it yourself. So if I don't put it, it's because they want you to research it yourself, again. And, they're not saying that you're lazy if you don't research it. They're just saying, like, sometimes we take the easy way out, right? Like, some days it's a long fucking day. You don't want to cook. You get takeout. Big fucking deal. It's there for a reason. Or you go to the store and you get a bag salad for the family because you're like, I can't today. That's okay. That's normal. That's life. It's just that spirit doesn't want us to be lazy like that all the time, especially with spirituality. It's like, yeah, you can just watch a reading, but it's like, we actually have to take the notes from the reading and apply them, or it's like we're just going, oh, okay. And then, but we're not really doing it. And I noticed recently, when I was arguing with my husband about something that was bothering me about him, I started to realize later that it was really me saying back to me, because I'm the one that's been lazy. I'm the one that's been, tardy and in certain situations. And letting my energy run amok. Sometimes we have to take the blame. Sometimes we have to, because it is our right. Like, if we are the perpetrator, then we take that responsibility. Now, we're not responsible for how the person reacts or responds to something, but we are responsible for what we put out into the universe. And if that person is reaching out to ask you to heal that with them, then it's our responsibility to do that. To actually, like, participate with someone we love and be like, how did I hurt you? What happened? And they're having me tell you all these messages before we get to the cards, because it's just like any other readings I do for the tribe, right? These are, maybe one person will watch this, maybe 20 people will watch it, so you take it from whatever applies to your story and at your level of consciousness. But we are one. And so a lot of times we're all going through the same things at the same time. It's different, right? It just shows up differently in our story. It shows up differently in our bodies, in our healing process for each of us individually. And so I'm just getting from spirit to just be mindful of that, and remember that the people that you love, they're trying so hard, but they're just not at the same level of consciousness that you are. And spirit saying, we don't want to punish them for being imperfect, but also, if it's in a situation that's extremely unhealthy, spirit doesn't want us to stay in a situation that feels unhealthy. We must speak up. And if things don't change, we have to be brave enough to move on. We have to be brave enough to leave. And I know that's hard, and we can do it with love. They had me wear my coral ring. Sorry, the lighting's not so great right now because I'm using natural lighting. This coral ring, speaking of, this is my wedding ring, but it can fit on this finger too. And they had me wear it on this finger because, they say this is the finger. It's actually not this one. I think it's actually this one that's actually connected to your heart. But long story short, I keep cutting myself here and here and here over and over. Nowhere else on my body. I don't know why, right? But it's because I'm not connecting my head and my heart together. I'm letting my head decide when my heart knows better. That's why this turquoise wanted to come in, So work with turquoise and work with coral, red coral specifically. Sorry. Thank you, Spirit. And work with red coral. Okay. That's your like kind of homework, so to speak, is to work with that. I'm also going to come down a little bit. Oh yeah, that's right. Because they wanted me to bring this in, which I was really kind of surprised by this, but kind of in a cool way. For some of you, you say, am I on my right path? Yes and no. And we're going to get to that. But this wanted to come in. This is my, you know, fanning brush when I'm doing smudging. It's my smudging brush. Thank you, Spirit. So we are going to speak with the unicorns. Spirit, I don't know if we can get a yes or no answer, but I'm asking on behalf of reading one, what is the card for are they on the right path? Are they on the right path? Are they on the right path? Ooh, oh my gosh. So on the cover, if you watch the beginning of this, I spoke of how, hold on, this like doesn't want to come into focus. There we go. I spoke of how it was so interesting how all of the, out of the decks or whatever, yours was the only one that spoke about being on a path, right? That the unicorn was on a path, like walking, like literally like on the earth. And the fact that this one came up right here is really powerful to me. So I'm going to leave that right there. Oops, hold on. I think they want me to put it here with the turquoise. Oh, it's like they wanted the turquoise to like hold space for it, if it makes any sense. Okay, so the card says action. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. So you are on the right path, but you have to take action. You can't just, I feel like some of you have been like sitting there waiting, and that's okay because astrologically, for some of us in our signs and things, especially with a lot of Sagittarius and Jupiter, Pisces, there's, Saturn, there's a lot of interesting things that are happening this year. We are in the new world officially. We are safe, we are good, but there's still a lot of shit that has to happen, and has to take place. So Spirit is showing you, they're going to have me move the card, but do you see how when I'm not that way, when I'm this way, do you see how the light's behind them? That's Spirit saying like they have your back. You want more answers. They said you want more answers. So I will give you more answers, which is wisdom. I didn't want to say it they asked me not to say this in the beginning, but I knew I was going to be using other decks for other readings, but I wasn't sure which one. So I'm going to go into which is wisdom and see if we have any. If not, we're going to go into moonology. Do we have any cards from the witch's wisdom regarding where they need to take action? They're asking, are they on the right path? So can you give us any clues from this deck? Okay, not right now. Some of you, I think you're meant to go to that reading, to the witch's wisdom reading, which is what are my special gifts. And so that's why I feel like this reading isn't for, that song, this song ain't for everybody, just the sexy people. That's what I feel like it is, like you guys. It's the same thing. It's like, of course you have more than one reading. And like, how silly to think you may have like just one, right? You were drawn to the unicorns, but you are unicorns and you're witches, and you know what I mean? But I don't know if you're going to need any moonology. Let me see. Okay, so we have the moonology deck. So Spirit, are they on the right path? Are they on the right path? Now remember, there's going to be a lot of people watching this. So some people it's going to be yes, and some people it's going to be no. So any messages from the moon on whether or not these blessed angels are on the right path? Do you have any messages? I'm feeling one in here. It's coming out. It's coming out. These cards are old and they're kind of sticky. So let's see. Spirit, is reading one on the right path? Is reading one... Oh, shit. Some just flew across the room. Is reading one on the right path? Oh, you guys have such cool energy. Is reading one on the right path? Okay. Ooh, okay. Holy shitballs. All right. So interesting. So action. We're going to start with this one because that's the one I see right now. Bring love into the situation. Interesting. New moon in Aquarius. Bring love into the situation. I feel like these want to go back here. So either you're in Aquarius or, I feel like for some of you, you actually, what I'm getting from this, like without even reading anything, or what I get from this is that I feel like some of you started to take action around the new moon in Aquarius. So go back and look at when that was. I can easily look on the calendar for you right now, but they're not having me do that. They want you to focus, 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 because I get the vibe that some of you have a really hard time focusing. I understand that, right? Because you're really talented and you're really gifted and you have a lot of things going on. So you're like, well, I don't know where to begin. I don't know where to start. Okay, so I'm hearing reading two again too, right? So what are my special gifts? When you know that, then you'll know. Okay, so have faith in your dreams. Oh my gosh, we're in waxing crescent right now. Oh my gosh, I love when spirit does this cool shit, man. I love it. This is where I love my job, you guys. Like, honestly, I love my job. Oh, yesterday I was like, I'm so sick of this shit. I'm like, what? I was so engulfed in the darkness of the retrograde and Mercury and the eclipse season and just this dark moon in Aries. I just got so wrapped up in it. And, I was like forgetting my light. And it was like, I don't know. I woke up this morning, it was like, da, 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 da. It's like something came in. And you know what? A lot of it for me was meditation. So I'm hearing the same for you. A lot of your answers lie in meditation. This has been coming at me from like every angle, everywhere I go. So I feel like I meant to share the wealth of that message. So, but some of you, yes, you started setting something in motion in the new moon in Aquarius. Whatever that was, I feel like you took a hiatus or something happened. You're like, it didn't happen, so just fuck it, I'm not doing it. And I think it's something really, really, really big, and it scares you. This is a multiple message, so I feel like put in your own story. I mean, I feel like for some of you, like you're a singer or something, or you want to start your own channel or your own business or something where you really have to put yourself out there, and you've done it before and you've been rejected, and you've done it and been rejected and done it and been rejected. And Spirit's like, you know what though? But sometimes we need to keep getting rejected, because with every rejection, we learn something more about ourselves, about where we are in our path, what we want, what we don't want, and Spirit saying for you, it's important for you to focus on what you do want. Don't focus on the past or what you don't want or what happened before. Just focus on what you want now and do what makes you laugh. If you are somebody that is like really into jazz and you're like, boopity boop, 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 and you're like, but people around you are like, dude, that's weird. You're like, who fucking cares? If that's what you love, then you do it. If you're somebody that likes to do drawings, right? Like you love to do like old shit and like maybe you like to, speak in Cockney or like whatever. And you're like, I know I was born in this country, but I feel like I'm this. Then be that. I always felt this connection to the French that I couldn't understand. And then when I got to Paris and I was there, I was like, oh, where's she? Like, yeah, there was something about them in the place. And it's like, I just loved it. I loved the way they spoke. And, and I loved everything about it. But at the same time, when I was ready to go home, I was like, oh, I could live here forever. But I know that I'm not meant to live there forever. I'm meant to be where I am right now. Maybe I'll go back there and visit. Maybe I'll retire there. Who knows? Maybe I'll find some other place that's even better than that. Better to me, in that phase of my life. So be prepared to take action. Because I feel like for some of you too, the purpose hasn't happened yet and you're about to give up. And Spirit's like, don't give up, don't give up. You're so close, you're so close. Have faith in your dreams. This moon cycle, after this moon cycle, a lot of shit's going to break through. After this, we're having like, how like when you're like first starting something, it feels uncomfortable. You're not used to it. Even a new job, right? Like I can't tell you how many jobs I've had because I really don't physically know. I couldn't like give you a number right now and tell you because I don't, because I've had so many. But I can tell you this, that with each job, I was still nervous in the first week. But man, what, come a month or whatever, you're like walking around like you fucking own the joint because you feel comfortable, people, it feels good. If it doesn't, you leave that job, right? Because you're like, this isn't the right place for me. It's the same for you. And Spirit's saying, bring love into the situation for you, for what you need on your path. Because it says now is the perfect time to act. And when I first saw it, I thought, because I have a hard time seeing even with my glasses, this tiny little print, and it says, I thought it said now is the perfect time to ask. So it's like, am I on the right path? This is the perfect time to ask that question. Also, for some of you who are drawn to reading too, what are my special gifts? This is the time for you to ask and like find out, but also to face it and not run away from it. And the last part of this message is the second part of this message is take inspired action towards your dreams. Have faith in your dreams, but you have to take action towards them. You can't keep talking about it or watching things. You have to actually do it. You know, I love American Idol. Now it's like such a different place. It's like such a healthy, loving place. I love it. And I know people say it's a toxic environment. I'm sure it is on some levels of the TV and the bullshit. But I know that, like, I can tell that, you know, Lionel, Luke, and Carrie. Sorry, Katy Perry. I made you Carrie. I saved her for last because she's the goddess, right? You know, it's like, and maybe she's an Aquarius. I don't know. I should find out because I felt like my eyes went to this. Maybe she's got heavy Aquarius in her chart. But I know that these are people who are trying to inspire others to go after their dreams. And if it's not this time, they're like, go back and work harder. You got this far. Don't just give up and be like, oh, I never fucking made it. You know, that's what people do. They go and they try something. And if it doesn't work, they're like, oh, whatever. And the people who, the naysayers and those who give bullshit are the ones that don't have the fucking balls to actually do it in the first place. And I'm telling you from personal experience, okay? I know I'm getting a little, you know, it's a little hanger coming out. I haven't eaten today. But also, I know it's also for my passion and love for you because you deserve it. And you have to bring love into the situation because you have to remember that they're acting from their own level of consciousness. If they are living out of fear and they're not going after their dreams out of fear, that is not your problem. That's not your, you know what I mean? You are on the right path, but I do feel that there are some obstacles in your way that you need to fucking get out of the way so you can really, really like charge, you know what I mean? Like become this, you're like, beep. All of a sudden it's like you don't need spirit like as your fucking, you know, mascot in the back anymore, right? Like you got it. And you're good in the dark moon. You're good in the, right? Like the new moon, it's like barely there, but you're also you're in that waxing. You're at the beginning of something. And you're at the beginning of something really powerful and really awesome, and really awesome powerful things take time. And some things happen overnight when people are like, wow, yeah, I made it overnight. That doesn't usually happen. Even if they were singing in their bedroom for 15 years and then they finally went and did an audition and made it overnight, it's like they were still putting in the work. And I'm going to music because I feel like this is for a lot of you. And this is also a message for myself because I have to be brave in that area too. That's a tough area for me. I watched something recently that says if it scares you, that's the thing you're supposed to do. The thing that scares you the most is the thing that is calling you. Even if it's not, maybe it's not a moneymaker, maybe it's not to be famous or something like that. Maybe it's just for your healing. You know, maybe you were famous in another life. And in this life, you know, maybe you are, maybe you're not. It depends. It's a big, you know, tribe. But maybe it's just that you're meant to do those things on a different level, like in meditation with spirit. Maybe you'll get into something that you never thought you'd do, throat singing or something like really powerful. Chanting. Maybe you start working with music or healing circles, working with spirit animals and music. I've watched so many healers do these things. It's limitless. Look into it. What feels good to you? You know, try things on for size. Go to workshops, go to classes, see how things feel. Go to stores, walk around, see how they feel. Like what that energy, if you want to do something like that. You know, it's about immersing yourself in it. You want to own a cafe? Go sit in one. Go to your favorite one and look at it. What makes it your favorite? How could you make it come true? Have faith in your dreams because you know what? As soon as it's ready, the right person, the right time, the money, everything will fucking show up for you. I promise. Look at this. Move forward with confidence because once you know, once you feel like you are on the right path, you will go forward with confidence. And for those of you who are getting upset because you didn't get the quick fix, you see my little thing reflection back there, you didn't get the quick fix answer, you're not supposed to. It'll come to you, and maybe it'll come to you in your dreams, maybe it'll come to you in meditation. Okay, so look at this with another Aquarius. So either you are Aquarius or you're meant to channel this energy. The Aquarius energy, I can tell you so much about it. It's so beautiful. I know so many powerful Aquarians, but I want you to research this on your own, okay? If you're not an Aquarius, it's because Spirit wants you to work with this energy. Also, look at how they're getting bigger. Now you're in a full moon. So it could even be that for some of you, things won't really align for you until the next Aquarius moon cycle. Right? The new moon in Aquarius, which would be next, what is it? January, end of January, beginning of February. It just depends on where it lies. And the calendar, I will give you this though. Hold on. Okay. So They are letting me tell you this. When I looked down, it was 24:38, and then I went to 39 and then 40. So I feel like for some of you, you really are on the right path. It's just they're just a few things you need to tweak, okay? And I feel like if you're an Aquarius, this is like a big yes that you're on the right path, because the fact that we got the new moon and the full moon is like, and I have the chills right now. So there's something really powerful there. Also, when I looked it up, it's August 1st is the full moon in Aquarius. So I feel like August, something really magical is going to happen. Either, and I feel like for some of you who started this process and the new moon in Aquarius earlier this year, it's like it's going to come to its fruition, right? Because that's what it is. It's 6 month, we go, it's like a 6 month cycle. So I feel like, you know, you're working on it, you're going to take action now. Maybe while you were watching this reading, things were like pinging off for you and you're like, holy fuck, I know exactly what it is. Or you know what I mean, you went to yoga and hatha yoga and you're like, I love the heat in the yoga, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm meant to do that. But like you put on spiritual, like cool, like beat music, and like, you know, and maybe I don't know if they have these already, but wouldn't it be cool if they had like a yoga place where like you can partake in like edibles or like cannabis or, you know, shrooms or things like that? Like you have a shroom yoga. Wouldn't that be fucking rad? Like where it's like you have like a meditation before while people are like easing into it. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe you're meant to invent something really cool like that. A lot of things are changing. In my state, cannabis and mushrooms, certain mushrooms are absolutely legal. So the funny ones, you know what I mean? So the psychedelics, it could be something like that. I don't know where that came from, but it could be for somebody. But also that is the first day. It's I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly. It's Lunasa, I think it's called Lunasa. It's spelled Lughnasa. Blessed Lunasa, and I believe that's like where it's like halfway between it's like halfway between summer solstice and fall equinox. So that's also going to be a super moon, and that's the sturgeon moon. So there's a lot going on. So even like sturgeon is a fish, it could be, you could have water in your sign, because even though Aquarius is the water bringer, it is an air sign. So you could be an air sign as well, which is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You could be dealing with that with another person. Really powerful. This reading feels really powerful for you guys. Also, I must show you this. Very curious. So when I was doing some work with spirit, my calendar started on fire. And interesting that August 2023, at this time period where they're talking about this, I can flip it over so you can see it, of this full moon and all that, that's in Leo season. So you could be a Leo, you know, there's just a lot going on in this reading right now. Let me see if we have any more. Do you have any more messages, Spirit, from the unicorns? Okay. Any more messages from the Moonology deck over here? I think those might be all the messages for you guys. Let me try one more deck. Do we have any messages from the Witch's Wisdom on this reading for this topic? No. For those of you who are, they're like, no. For those of you who are longing for that, when you were like, what are my gifts? Then that would be the reading for you. What are my special gifts? Thank you, Spirit. What are my special gifts? So we will see you over at reading 2. For everybody else, I hope this helped you in any way. Let me see if they want to do any last minute. Sometimes they have me read from the book because these books have mantras. So let me ask them. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't normally read from the unicorn book. It's very rare that I do. But when I do, I get excited because I love their messages. So action. It's also card number 2. There's not numbers on here, but because it's so close to the beginning, I can tell you that it's number 2, if that means anything to you guys. So it says, now is the perfect time to act and ask. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. You have prepared, trained, and done the inner work to be ready for this opportunity. The pieces are lined up. The timing perfect. All that it requires is for you to take action. Have unwavering belief in yourself and take the next steps. You already have everything within you that you need to do this. You may feel some resistance or hesitation, but this is not the time for doubt or procrastination. You are ready. Yeah, woohoo! Listen to your courageous heart, not your fearful ego. Ignore any excuses about why you can't. Remember, you are powerful, capable, and the entire universe is on your side. Call on the unicorns to keep you moving forward and to remind you that on the other side of this action is the success you so desire and deserve. The unicorns are beside you, urging you forward, encouraging you to take action on your dreams without further delay. It's also on page 20 through 23, which is the number 5. And right before I saw this, I was drawn to this pineal gland. It was from one of those meditations on YouTube, meditative mind, I think it was from, but it was for the pineal gland. But the numbers were like 5 hours, 55 minutes, and 55 seconds, you know? So obviously this is it. This is time, you know, now is the time. Now is the hour. You do have the strength and you do have the power. You just have to believe in yourself because we believe in you. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. You got this. Also, P.S. For some of you, your Native American ancestors are calling to you. If you're wondering what your path is, you know what it is. Just because, and also for some of you, I don't care if you are Hindu. Look at that, it fell and the light's still going. If you are Hindu, but you are drawn to the Native American, there's nothing wrong with working on that. This cultural appropriation stuff, I understand what they're trying to do, and it's beautiful that they're, you know, we need that in some ways, but also there are some of us, we were born in different places of the world at different times and different lifetimes, and we can't help but wake up right now and be drawn to that and be attracted and attached to that. So some of you, it's for you to let it go, and for some of you, it's for you to embrace, okay? So that was just a little PS. I love you from spirit. All right, till next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. And all of my information is in the About section. And if you want a personal session with me or a recorded reading, reach out to me. Email me, magicalmedium@gmail.com, and we'll discuss it. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other again. Blessed be. Oh, bye.